Hello and welcome to your new moon reading. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much for taking the time to be here and enjoying these readings with me. I love doing this. This is my absolute passion. But those of you who have been watching my videos this far know that I really like to create connections, and I really love to create coherence. And so all of these readings are meant to move in somewhat of a linear straight line, where it's not like, oh, they're completely disconnected from the reading before or whatever videos that I'll be putting out this week. It's all connected. It's all flowing together. And that's what I want people to be able to connect with more and more, is that there is a flow to life, and there is a flow and a structure and a reason for the way that the energies come up the way that they do, that they come out the way that they do, and that they work with us and through us the way that they do. So if this reading speaks to you, you might want to go back and look at the full moon reading, because this is a progression of that full moon reading that we had in Capricorn a week and a half ago, or whatever exactly it was. And then this reading today is going to move itself forward into the full moon in Aquarius that we're going to have at the end of Leo season. So just keeping that in mind, this is all meant to move in a line that's able to help you, start making the connections and start seeing the way that the universe, that the elements, that astrology, and that the esoteric tools are there for you to help you see yourself and to help you understand just how powerful and capable you are of going through things that challenge you, so that you can really find your strength and your truest expression. I hope you enjoy the reading today. I hope you've been having a marvelous kickoff to this Leo season. I know that as I've been speaking to a lot of people that I know and interact with on a regular basis, there definitely seems to be a theme of people being pushed, for one, beyond their comfort zones, beyond their comfort limits. A lot of us are having to do things that we've never done before in the different elemental realms of our being, whether it's having to think about things in a new way, whether it's about addressing our emotional world in a new way, maybe developing new aspects of our ego, or understanding where we can work more consciously with our ego. And then there's also been a lot of people who are having challenges with their physical body, myself included. So all of these things together are pushing us, like it's like being in the womb and getting pushed out, funneled into this point where we have to say, okay, I'm gonna have to grow beyond what I've been up to this point. But without the ability to understand the tools I have available to me that I maybe haven't been brave enough to use, or I've been falling back on, different levels of comfort up to this point, without using these tools that have been sitting there waiting for us, we're not able to take these steps. So I know that there's a lot of us that are just being pushed beyond a limit and finding that we have a greater capacity than we thought that we did, but it's not easy. This is difficult stuff, right? This is challenging us. But what's so perfect is that because we are here with Mr. Leo, and because we are here with the fire element in action, moving through us, we have the capacity at this time to draw from these wells of fire, from these wells of strength and courage, inspiration and creativity. And it makes me think of the term that necessity is the mother of invention. So a lot of us are also starting to feel these creative rushes moving through us. We're getting these ideas, we're getting inspired, and we want to start putting motion towards, there's a hawk. we want to start putting motion towards these inspiring creative ideas that we're having. And this new moon is a really great opportunity to take a moment and really tune in and connect with this fire, connect with this inspiration, as well as connecting with all of the other aspects of our elements, to really find out, how can I use this creative inspiration that's coming in a way that is going to be sustainable, in a way that's going to catch fire and stay on fire. Molly McCord, my favorite soul growth astrologist on YouTube, talked about Leo being like a bonfire that is this, here it is again, a bonfire that is this powerful, centralized essence of our creativity, our capacity to express ourselves, but it stays in one place so that it can continue to grow and strengthen and get bigger and bigger. So this does require this element of stabilization inside of us that helps us to cultivate room for these creative projects that we're thinking about, for these inspirations that we're having. And I don't know about you, but a lot of times I get really inspired around this time of the year, but then I tend to burn myself out because I don't know how to pace myself. I just get excited and I run off, like a puppy dog, and the next thing you know, I've burnt myself out. So I really feel that a lot of the energy that's moving around at this time is just, number one, this perspective on like, where are you being challenged and pushed beyond your limits, or what you thought your limits have been. How are you coming into center so that you can work on that? And then how is this creative inspiration, this new self-expression that also might be requiring a lot of courage of you, how is that being able to come forth for you at this time? So we're going to pull some cards and we're going to see what shows up for each one of us who's listening today, to give us the sense of where can we focus this energy in? Where can we ask guidance to help us focus this energy in? Give us some talking points, some thinking points, and some feeling points to bring us through this lunation where the sun is so immensely powerful, conjunct with the moon in the sign of Leo. I mean, this is just pretty powerful, everybody. So today we're going to be using, just like last time, the Druidcraft Tarot deck. No oracle cards today because that didn't show up as something that we needed to do. But we're going to go ahead and pull our first card and see what we come up with here. And we're just asking for that grounding guidance that's going to apply to all of us who decide to come and watch this video. Okay, let's see. This is our card. And this card feels very, very root chakra. Oh, wow. Okay. So I just recently had an experience where this card came up for me 2 days in a row from 2 different perspectives. And in both instances, what was coming forward about the Princess of Swords is this idea for her to be detached, to have this sense of emotional attachment of what's going on around her, so that she's able to stay in a space of basically being focused on what it is that she needs to focus on. And with all of the things that we just mentioned, or that I just mentioned before I jumped into this card, is that all of these things that we're going through in the sign of Leo, this can bring up a lot of emotion. It can bring up a lot of attachment. It can bring up a lot of feelings. And these are passionate feelings because we're dealing with the element of fire. You know, when it's the element of water, it's more just emotional feelings, but we have that extra passion, that extra oomph that can also cause us to react to something without really thinking it through, without really feeling it through. And I think at this time where so many of us are gearing up and trying to process this creative energy in the way that we are, it's really important that we don't get swept away by what we're feeling, because if we get swept away by what we're feeling, we're that much more likely to kind of, accidentally run through that bonfire, set ourselves on fire, spread those logs out, and sort of desecrate the purity and the potency of the information that's coming through to us, that's telling us, like, this is what you want. this is what you need to do to get what you want, and here are the steps in which that's going to happen, because that information is moving through all of us right now. The question is, are we able to actually intuit it? Can we perceive it, and can we receive it as it comes through? Are we going to block it because we have thoughts or feelings about it that are going to run away with our focus? So she's asking us to practice healthy detachment so that we can continue to see the truth of what's going on in any situation that we're in, and to be mindful where we are getting carried away with our passionate feelings of, even if it's passionate feelings of creativity. I want to go out, I want to start a business, I want to go out, I want to start a YouTube channel, I want to go out and I want to, whatever it is that you want to do. Are you letting that inspiration move all the way through you before you start going out and doing things, right? It's sort of like if you get the inspiration to build a house, right? You're not just going to go out and buy lumber and start building things. You're gonna hire someone to come and help you create a blueprint and design it, right? If you will, in the imagination, design it on a piece of paper, and then go, okay, let's go out and, here's how much concrete we need to pour our slab, and so on and so forth. So not going to beat the dead horse with that anymore. We need to practice detachment so that we're able to stay focused. All right, let's see what our next card is going to be. Two cards. Let's see which ones. Both are meant for us. Yes to this one. And yes to this one. Okay, cool. Now, I want to mention that as I'm pulling these cards, I'm getting a lot of energy in the root chakra and in the sacral chakra area, which I think makes a lot of sense based on the energies that we're speaking about, because the root chakra, in any sense, when we're talking about creative projects, where we're talking about self-expression, right? If we don't have legs to stand on, then we can't actually move. We can't make the energy go where we want it to go. So there really is this sense of like, how strong are your legs, when it comes to your creative energy? Do you have the strength to carry something forth? And then, of course, the sacral chakra sits right on top of the root chakra, down in that lower abdomen area, and that is our creative capacity. That is our ability to be powerful and to exercise that power with healthy boundaries. But again, if you don't have the legs to carry that creativity and those healthy boundaries forth, then you're not going anywhere. It's not happening, right? This whole thing is just going to remain a dream, whatever it is. So this is another energy I want to bring forth. Even when I touch the cards, I'm feeling it. This was very root chakra, which I like that. So our root chakra is that detachment. This is very, whatever this is. This is sacral chakra. Oh my goodness. Well, look at that. Now, if you saw the full moon reading from last week, yeah, I think it was last week, this was actually the last card that we pulled. So what we're seeing, and this is what I love about tarot, is we're seeing a theme coming forward here. This card showing up again is saying, look, the story's not over. This is connected to what we talked about last time, right? So whereas last time we were asked to be wild and to shake loose any of that rigidity and any of that fear and any of that needing things to make sense, we're being asked to dance and bring forth this creative energy. Now we're being asked to kind of calm down a little bit, pull ourselves in a little bit, and practice that detachment so that this can continue to rise up within us. We can continue to have this new way of thinking, this new emergence, this new truth born out of our emotional being that is going to bring us into a new cycle, particularly around our consciousness. So I love that that's coming up again. And lots of second chakra here. Also, now I did check with the pendulum that this card is meant to be in the upright position. That's why I flipped it over. And here we have Another swords card. Now you guys, this is really significant because anytime that you pull a reading that's all the same suit, it's highly emphasizing one aspect of our being. And in this case, we are in the element of air. This is all about the consciousness. This is all about our ability to think things through and our ability to even know that we're thinking in the first place, right? It's the precursor to self-awareness. This is what, which is what we get in the fire element, is that self-awareness. But first, we have to be aware that we have awareness to begin with. But the Six of Swords showing up, this is positive. This is taking a movement forward. This is, again, so here we have the Princess of Swords with her sword, right, having detachment, and then you have Excalibur rising up out of the water, and then you have a group of people, and in I can't help but see in this case the Hermit, and then that divine feminine and that divine masculine, and they've got the swords in the boat, right? They've stabilized their ability to move their thoughts through their emotional realm. And because you've got the Hermit at the helm here, you definitely know that you can trust where he's going to take you, but you have to trust that he's going to take you where it is that you need to go. Now, to me, the Hermit always represents our inner guidance. It's the part of us that is not affected and does not have to deal with the fear of those basic primal needs that we have and how that works itself out in our four mainstream, our streams of awareness, right? So he's able to be connected to all of the wisdom that we've ever experienced in all of our lifetimes, and just really being connected to that source energy that says, I can take you where it is that you need to go, because you've now established the ability to stay buoyant when it comes to your emotions and to bring your consciousness forward. And there's this beautiful coherence happening here between the consciousness and the emotions. But again, there's that trust. And it makes sense that we're being asked to have detachment, because a lot of times what stops us from being able to do this and allow this to happen is that we get emotionally upset, we get mentally triggered, our ego gets a little bit too excited one way or the other, and we start arguing with the Hermit about where we're going instead of just looking ahead and being like, I'm sitting here, I'm surrendered, right? And I'm willing and I'm ready for whatever is coming next. This card indicates a harmonization of your consciousness. It's always a moving forward, a crossing over from painful situations where you have gone through a lot of struggle, and this is usually indicating, look, you've been through a lot, but you're coming out of it. And the important thing is that as you come out of it and you come through it, you're able to leave behind what doesn't serve you anymore to hold on to. And this can also be part of the detachment, the let it go, whatever it is, let it go. But let the wisdom, let the truth come with you. Take that with you to where you're going into these new realms of consciousness. This is really, really beautiful, you guys. I'm super excited about this. So we're just gonna check if we're gonna be pulling any more cards. Nope. And this is it. This is our message meant to help us approach this new moon energy, which really is very much about, in the dark of the moon, we have this, everything comes together. The sun and the moon are together in the sign of Leo. So this is really, it's an egg moment, or it's a seed moment for us to say, okay, I've gotten a little taste of what this Leo energy is feeling like for me, and now I'm going to go into the dark, I'm going to go into the quiet, into the abyss of myself, and really set some very strong intentions with the energies that are moving through me, and make some choices about how I'm going to take authority over that, and what level of control and what level of surrender am I going to exercise. So I really, really hope that this was helpful to you. If you haven't, please go back and take a look at the Working with Leo Energy video that I just posted a couple of days ago. This is really going to help you. If you're not connecting so much to the Leo energy, watching that video is really going to help give you the perspective of how that energy is working through you right now, what it's probably lighting up in you right now. And then of course, keep your eye out for the seasonal astrology Leo video that'll be coming up next week. I hope that this was really helpful, and I look forward to this full moon. Hey guys, thank you so much for being here again. And if this reading spoke to you, if you felt that this was beneficial to you and you want to take it a step further, please reach out to me at moonsong707@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Moonsong Tarot or Amy Moonsong and schedule a private reading with me. A lot of times when we open these energies up even further into your personal energy field, then you're able to get a lot more of the specifics of how this energy is speaking to you, how this energy is working with you. Moonsong Tarot could really use the support right now, as I myself am in a major life transition, and having the opportunity to continue to make these videos and to continue to grow with the world and share with the world during these times is my passion. It's what I want to do. So by all means, please look me up and schedule a private reading with me. It would be my pleasure. Thank you again for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.